king, I am not a god, I am Hunkpain! Prepare to die. Prepare to die. Welcome to a whole new world. Your planet is now under mid-range.
What's good, YouTube, and welcome Tano. In this video I will show you how to mod your Incarnon Gorgon to take down level 9999, or known as level cap in Warframe. Let's get to it as time is precious. And as always, we start the build with the Incarnon evolutions. Evolution 1. Headshots will charge your Incarnon meter, and then hitting the button on the mouse wheel will activate the Incarnon form that will fire embedding projectiles that explode with heat damage. So it makes this weapon a more like AoE weapon. Now, Evolution 2, Hunter's Mantra. Increase base damage by 5 with channeled ability active, 3 punch through and 40% accuracy. Now, you can switch this one, depends on what frames you're using. Now, Evolution 3, the Rapid Reinforcement. Evolution 4, Survival's Edge, for the increase of critical chance by 2 and the status chance by 6. Of course, you can go for this one or you can go for this one, but I prefer this as it's, in my opinion, the best one to go for. For the modding, Surration for the additive damage. The weapon, the way it is, without Riven, without a multiplicative faction mod, can kill any enemy at level cap. Corpus, Grenier, Infested, Thrax, you name it, okay? So, if you don't have, like, Platinum or you don't have Primed mods, it's okay. Papa Hank got you. Guaranteed 2 years. You're buying, like, a TV. Alright, but if you want to increase the damage, of course, the Bane means the faction multiplicative mods are really important when it comes to increasing the damage against that faction. So I highly recommend use the multiplicative faction mods in there to increase your damage, my friend. Galvanized Chamber for multi-shot and more multi-shot on kill. Vigilante Armaments for more multi-shots and enhanced critical hits, and high voltage 60-60 electricity and status chance. Hammer shot for critical damage and status chance, and this is the one you want to switch if you have a Riven. Vital Sense, critical damage, critical delay, malignant for 60-60 toxin and status chance. When I say hammer shot is what you change if you have a Riven, meaning your Riven is CC-CD damage negative zoom or CC-CD multi-shot negative zoom. But if your Riven have a toxin, change with this one. If it has electricity, you change with this one. Vigilante Supplies convert secondary ammo pickup by 30% of ammo pickups. Also, it will enhance your critical hits from primary weapons, goes with the Vigilante Armaments, and so on. Primary Deadhead on precision headshot kill, you're gonna get 360% damage for 24 seconds. Really good in Void Cascade, as the 24 seconds good to move from Exolizer to Exolizer. And the best thing about primary Deadhead is that 30% headshot multiplier scales so good with level kappa and gives you the minus weapon recall. But if you're going against, let's say, survival specific faction, you can go, of course, with primary Mercilise or wherever you really try. You can try things around, no problem. As you can see, the weapon is modded for corrosive. What corrosive does exactly? When you reach 10 stacks, the enemy armor will be temporarily removed by 80%. It's a combination between toxin and electricity, and it's very good against Grenier and Kuva Grenier, and it has a negative multiplicative against Sentient. I have a full video about the statue rework in Warframe that happened in 2024. You can check it out. I mean, if you watch this video in 2026, you can check what happened in there. Now, because the weapon is modded for corrosive, you can try and mod it for whatever you want, no problem at all. That leads us to the Warframe Archon Shards. 2 Emerald Archon Shards to push the stacks from 10 for 80% armor strip to 14 for 100% armor strip. So the Incarnon Gorgon itself can armor strip without relying on any focus school or helmet ability to do so. That saves us a lot and make us maneuver a lot, like in the build and the synergy and stuff like that. But if you don't like that, it's okay. I have this picture for you I prepared. You can just copy it and you can move around with different helmet abilities or different companions and stuff. And for viral proccing, we got the Nourish. Nourish is really good as it's proccing viral on our weapon and give us energy. Now, why Nourish is really awesome and really powerful, even if it's get nerfed? They nerfed the damage, but that's not the case. When they nerf a statue effect damage, it's okay because we care about the effect of that statue. For example, viral will make the enemy vulnerable to more damage by increase damage to their HP by 324 or 25%. That's what we really want from Nourish, and there is no enemy in this game without health. Every enemy have health, so everyone will be affected by Nourish, and we're good to go. Now, for the other Archon shards, use whatever you want. For Revenant Prime, it doesn't matter. What matters is the aura, the rifle amp, arcane acceleration, arcane rage. Arcane acceleration, what you want to change if you're using a different frame that requires energize or barrier or aegis or whatever, or guardian or so on. Vigorous swap, when you swap between weapons, you get the 165% damage. If you want Revenant, there you go. This is the build for Revenant. Now, Madurai, because the speedrun you saw, it was Void Cascade, so I have to talk about it. So the amp I use is 177, Raplak Prism from Cities the Quills, and the Certus Brace and Propa Scaffold from Fortuna, the Little Duck, I believe. Right, your requirement is like a level 4 in Fortuna. I use Madurai because Void Strike will one-shot the second form of the Thrax, as it gives you 1000% damage in the cost of depleting all your energy, and when your energy is depleted, we're using the Eternal Onslaught for 180% critical chance, and also the Eternal Eradicate for 60% damage will be active, and when Void Strike is off, Contamination Wave will play the role, making enemies vulnerable to void damage by 50%. But if you're not playing Cascade and you're going to a different area in the game, it's okay. Vaseline will, when you dash to your Warframe, makes you invulnerable. And also, it will pull enemies together, makes them vulnerable to ground finisher if you are playing with melee crescendo. Zunuric for energy. Naramon, you can dash and make them vulnerable to finisher as well. And it sustain your combo multiplier so they don't deplete completely. Unairo to armor strip enemies. Really good Foxy schools in here. So that's like a little guide about Foxy School, and I have like a guide about Foxy School in the channel. You can check it out. When it comes to companion, it really depends on what you want. If you paid attention to the picture, I showed you there what like companion you can play around. If, for example, you don't want to use Nourish, for example, Panzer Pofila is the pet you want to use. In case you want a build for Panzer Pofila, there you go. This is the build for it. But I really love my Nautilus, as it helps me a lot with Cordon pulling enemies in, so I can kill them. Like, I narrow my targeting. Cordon to pull enemies, Manifold to pull more enemies, Tenacious Bond for critical damage, and this is the weapon I'm using with radiation for the enemies, you know, to start shooting each other and so on, and with the full Vigilante set for a primary weapon, which is the Gorgon, and this is the build. Alright, now you're ready. Let's test the weapon against the Thrax Centurions and against some heavy corrupted gunners. And of course, level 225 Steel Path Edition. Alright, activating Nourish and giving them some headshots. Now remember, the viral from Nourish or any viral will not affect the overguard. Only magnetic or the secondary fortifier will do more damage to the overguard. But think about it like, for example, we're cooking, as you can see, we're like giving them more stacks of viral, so when the overguard is off, we're good to go. Alright, activating the Incarnon form. Let's give them some love, baby. Alright, I need to get my Mesmer skin so I didn't go knocked back, since we don't have the Prime de Shurefooted. Now look at this beautiful weapon. Look at that. Now this, like the Incarnon form, I believe it's really good against enemies. Alright, the Incarnon form. So if it's like against enemies, I prefer you use the Incarnon form. But against the Thrax, I prefer you use the weapon without the Incarnon form. And you're gonna see that in a second right here. As you can see, the fire rate and all that stuff. And armor stripping them really quick, faster than the AoE and so on. Look at that. Activating Nourish. As you can see, Nourish makes a big difference since we're not modding for viral. And now any statue on enemy makes a big difference. Now all you have to do is you go to your operator, activating Void Strike, and then there you go, 180% Eternal, and then the 1000 Void Strike and 60% Eradicate, and here is the result: 32 million, 4 million, and so on to one-shot these Thrax Centurions. Now, If we're going against the heavy corrupted gunners now, on the other hand, I prefer to use the AoE. Alright, let me show you. Alright, if enemy is being pulled, that's from Nautilus, activating the Incarnon form. And here we go. Check this out. You see what I'm talking about? Okay, there you go. Nautilus pulled them in, and boom, killing them. Now, maybe you want to change the emissive of the weapon, like to black. So that's something like a lot of channels sometimes ask me to show them this kind of stuff, because some energy from the weapons are kind of blinding, to be honest. Okay, so if you go like totally black, all right, there we go, and then just go for the AoE, it will not be blinding, it will be more forgiving. All right, there you go, activating current form. That's a small tip for you. There you go. I'm using the AoE. It's the same AoE I'm using right now. As you can see, there is no energy at all, so you don't get blind, because you know these colors, if you play for a long time and stuff like that, it's really start to bother you and gets under your nerve. There is nothing to prove here. The weapon already capped against Corpus, Grenier, Anthrax, Centurions. I want to say thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you liked the video. Don't forget to sub, and I'll see you guys next time.
I am not a king, I am not a god, I am Hunkpain.